Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This will be the last video about 2023 reads, and I'm gonna be talking about the 10 best books of 2023. Even though I say that the list consists of 10 books, it actually includes 2 book series. I'm gonna go with the chronological order. Let's start with the first book in this list, which is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, which consists of 3 books at total. The story was very well written. I really enjoyed how the girl was so innocent yet very eager to understand what was really happening. Everything seemed really balanced, the innocence of this young girl and the courage that it takes to investigate this case. The second book on the list is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Janet McCurdy, and I'm still shocked even though I finished it at the beginning of 2023. I can't imagine that life for her and her being open to public regardless of the damage that it can give to her career. And when I remember what was going on during her childhood and teen years, I'm still very upset about it. I haven't watched any of the works by her, but I definitely will be watching them. The third book on my list is Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro, and that was such a heartwarming story. The first book from this author was Clara and the Sun, which I finished the previous year, 2022, and this was another great story about friendship and being family with people, even though you're not related by blood. The story might seem a bit dystopian to some people because there are robots which have their own minds and they can make decisions for you. Some of these robots are supposed to give you care when you are older and when you are in need actually, generally, and it might seem very scary to some people. And the previous book was also about an artificial intelligence and a robot, but it didn't seem so scary to me. I enjoyed both of these books regardless of the robots taking over the world. The next book on my list is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I want to mention all of these 3 books actually in this series, and I really enjoyed the world created in the book, and it starts when a normal girl meets the Prince of Hearts. I think that was what they called him. His real name was Jax, and she begs for a solution. Her boyfriend is marrying her stepsister, and she wants the Prince of Hearts to do something against them, and he does. They don't get married, they turn into stones, and her whole life changes eventually. She goes to another world. It was actually mentioned as a country, but I don't believe it was just a country because there were many magical events happening and people were really strange there and blah blah blah. Lots of things happened. I recommend it to everyone if you want to get away from the reality for a while. And the next book on my list is A Wild Ship Chase by Haruki Murakami. This was the 3rd book in the series, and later on I read the first 2 books, but I didn't like them. The events had no relation with one another, but the last 2 books, A Wild Ship Chase and Dance Dance Dance, they are sequel to each other. I was really impressed by the world created in The Ship Chase. I think every element of this book might be regarded as very important concepts in the future as a part of Japanese literature. I really like when these symbols appear and they mean something further. The next book on my list is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. It was another heartwarming story about 3 friends who are making video games, and later they create a company a very successful company. But then some very saddening things happen and their lives completely change. It was really sad to see this very unfaithful event. It was another good story about friendship developing from childhood and extending to their adulthood years. The next book on my list is The Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa. This was a compilation of short stories, but all of these short stories were connected to each other with a frame story. A man, I don't know his name, is trying to give his cat away, but he can't find a new home for the cat. So he travels across the country to see if any one of his friends from his past will be able to get the cat and take good care of it. The cat actually resembles the cat he owned when he was a child, but his father didn't let him have it. So that's why the cat is even more meaningful to him. In the end, I don't know if he could find a home, but the stories were worth reading. It gives so many life lessons about people and also your parents. The next book I want to mention is Yellow Face by Rebecca Kuang. I mentioned this book in my previous videos, so I'm not gonna talk so much about it. I really like the main character being morally gray. This is a new term that I've learned on social media. She's not a good person, but she's not a bad person. She justifies every bad thing that she does, and that was what I really liked about this book. The last book on my list is Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. This was a compilation of essays. I think she talks about every kind of love in every part of our lives since our childhood, maybe our teen years, because this is when we realize that we are separate from the people around us. A fandom. That was the shipping company. They informed me about them leaving my packages downstairs. I was talking about the last book on my list. I got informed about other people's conception of love. I didn't think that I needed to be loved when I was a teenager, but Dolly wanting to be loved so much taught me many things, not about love, but every relationship that we have with our parents before becoming teens, and with our parents when we are adults, being conceived in a certain way when we are adults by the people around us. It is actually really important to us, because no matter how many times I say that I don't need anyone's love, I actually need to be accepted, and this also entails being appreciated. So it is really important what others think about us. Overall, I really enjoyed the books that I read this year, even though there weren't many 5-star reads. But this year I started very fast, and 2 out of 3 books that I've finished so far are 5-star reads, and I'm really excited to share them with you. But this is the topic for another video, so I'm gonna have to stop the video here. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And if you previously read one of the books mentioned in this video, feel free to share your opinions in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.